Coolest Romantic, and I am here with a brush blowout. Take a guess as to what tool I use to achieve this blowout. Go ahead, guess. I'll give you a second. If you guessed that I did this with a blow dryer, a comb attachment, a dimming brush, or any combination of the three, you are wrong. And I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong, because I didn't use that. I used this. And I am here to tell you how excited I am about this. Listen to me. This tool right here has completely changed my life. Oh, let me back up. While I'm talking like an infomercial host, let me back up and say that this is not a sponsored post. This is not sponsored content. Revlon probably does not even know I exist. I just really love this product and I wanted to talk about it a little bit with y'all. So this is the Revlon One Step Blow Dryer. And if you're thinking it looks like a paddle brush, that's because it is, but it doubles as a blow dryer. As you can see here, it's plugs in just like a regular blow dryer, but it blows air, hot air, warm air, cool air, whichever you prefer, with these nifty little settings here. Uh-oh, is it gonna focus? Maybe not. Thanks. Okay, well, these nifty settings here on the bottom, it goes from off to cool to low to high. You got all your settings here that you need. And that high setting is hot, which I like. I like a good hot blow dryer because it'll get my little naps out fluffy like this. The top of it, the head of it, is a paddle brush, which you would already be using anyway with your regular blow dryer. Like if you have a regular blow dryer, you can't just use the blow dryer to blow dry your hair if you have curls. You have to use a paddle brush, a dimming brush, a comb, any other kind of tool. So you're using and working more than one tool, your arms get tired. We don't have time for that, all right? This is all that in one. It is so amazing. It's quick, it's easy to use, and I just want to talk about some of the features of it and why I like it, but I'm also going to give you a little bit of not why I don't like it, but a couple things that are not the most ideal when using this product. First, let me say that I did this in very small sections, and these are the last two sections. I'm going to take these down in a second and do a small demo with the actual blow dryer. I stopped just so I could film this for y'all. What I did was I separated my hair into a bunch of different sections while they were wet, and I let them dry a little bit at the root ahead of time. So these twists have been detangled, product added, and retwisted into these size sections. I had this size section all over my head. So I had sectioned everything off so that I could get, and the reason I did them in sections so small is because the shape of this makes it very hard to get right at your root. When you're dealing with more than one tool, you can kind of get closer to your scalp and let everything get dry that way. With this, it's kind of hard because you either have to brush down or to the side or outward, but it's hard to get this completely like straight into your scalp, whereas if this were a separate brush and a blow dryer, you'd be able to pull it out with this and get the blow dryer close to your scalp. It's very hard to do that with this, so blow drying it in small sections with your roots already sort of dry is probably your best bet. Like, you don't necessarily want to take this from drenched hair, in my opinion, unless you're doing a style that doesn't require that you have straight roots or even dry roots all the way through or whatever. I personally would not recommend that you use this for something like a silk press because it's not going to, you see how my ends are kind of still, you know, they're not straight. Like my ends are not straight all the way through. And that's because of these little ball things that are on the end of the paddle brush, and the fact that I can't really maneuver it in the same way I would if I had two separate things. So if I wanted to do a silk press, I probably would just go back to my regular blow dryer with comb attachment, which brings me to my next point. I am going to take the two sections at the front of my hair and I'm going to blow them out with both of these. I'm gonna do one side with this and one side with this. That way you can see kind of some of the differences that I'm talking about with how the sections will come out when you're done blow drying them. So I feel like we should just go ahead and get into it, right? Yeah, let's do it. So this is crazy. Like, can you believe that I did this with one tool? One tool! I, for one, am amazed. No, this is not my first time using that. You are not getting my first reaction. I've used it a couple of times now. It never gets old. I'm always surprised that I'm able to get this type of blowout with just that one tool. I'm sorry. I will forever be amazed. So here we have our two separate sections, just about the same size, you know, give or take a few strands of hair. I don't know who's counting. This side we have the blow dryer with comb attachment. On this side we have my Revlon one-step blow dryer paddle brush. I mean, they kind of look the same. Like, there's not much difference in how they were able to come out. What I will say is the biggest difference is that my roots on this side are straighter than on this side. And it was the same amount of dampness with each section, I believe. So you can see a little bit here that this section is kind of raised because it's harder to get right at the root. You can, it'll take you some time, and with very small sections, you'll be able to get closer to your root. But this section, I was able to use this tool straight down, blow it right in, get right at the root. So it's not that noticeable of a difference, but it's kind of noticeable, you know? So you've got the roots, and then you want to take a look at the ends. My ends are actually kind of terrible right now altogether, but if you kind of take a look closer, let me get a close up here. These ends that were done with the comb attachment or with your dimming brush are sometimes going to be a little bit straighter because you have a tool that's pulling through them in a different way, whereas you have these little balls here that aren't going to get the ends as straight. There's not a huge difference here. There's more of a difference in the back of my hair than anything. But that's something to consider if you're trying to do a silk press or a style that requires that your ends are straight. Or that if you're trying to get like your ends trimmed or anything like that. I don't know that I would want to use this one. But for everything else, baby, I'm sticking with this girl here because she did her thing and I'm about to go do my thing. Now, I would say stay tuned for the style, but I actually have no idea how I'm about to style this blowout. So just stay tuned for the next video, I guess, where I will figure out how I'm going to style my hair. I hope this was helpful. I hope this encourages anyone who has trouble. Like, I've been doing my hair for a long time. I worked in a hair salon as a shampoo assistant for a little bit too. So I have a lot of experience with using multiple tools to blow dry the hair, whether it's a comb attachment or whether it's just the blow dryer and a brush, like stuff like that. I've had a lot of practice with that, but everybody hasn't. And so this tool is really good for if you are kind of beginner, not really used to blowing your hair out or whatever. This is really great for someone who just doesn't, who needs something easier, needs something simple. This is a lot easier and simpler than anything else I've ever done. Just remember, part in small sections. Take note of your roots needing to be slightly dry beforehand, and then girl, just have a ball. Like, this is great. I'm gonna I'm gonna blow dry my hair more often because it doesn't take as long when I use this. Again, I hope this helped. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.